Hello, Liverpool fans. Welcome to the Liverpool Report, your go-to source for the latest news, match updates, and transfer stories straight from Anfield. Don't miss out on any of the action. Hit that subscribe button now and stay in the loop with all things Reds. Arsenal midfielder Declan Rice insists the Gunners will be in the title picture at the sharp end of the season, despite Liverpool's firm advantage with nearly two-thirds of the season gone. If Liverpool win their game in hand against Everton on Wednesday, they will move 9 points clear at the top. Rice's Arsenal have shown their quality though, going unbeaten in the league since November and beating Manchester City 5-1 last time out. Mikel Arteta's side are now also out of both domestic cup competitions, potentially allowing them to focus more on the league. There is still a return to Champions League action, but league phase results mean they were able to avoid an extra playoff round. Arsenal remained in title contention going into the final day of last season, only for Manchester City to pip them by 2 points. With City fading from the title picture this term though, Rice backs last season's runners-up to be in with a shot come May. There's still a really long way to go, Rice told Sky Sports. The manager said in a press conference the other week, "No matter what, the only thing we can worry about is ourselves. But at the end of the season, we will be there. We can only keep believing in what we believe in, work on what we're working on, and have full trust in the manager, players, and everyone around us that we can achieve great things. It's down to us to get that over the line. Big things are coming. We need to stay positive and keep going." After Arsenal dropped out of the FA Cup at the first hurdle, title rivals Liverpool suffered a shock defeat against Plymouth on Sunday. However, former Gunners star Paul Merson remains pessimistic despite the Merseyside club's setback. Arsenal got 2 trophies left to win, one they could be out of by Wednesday night in my opinion, Merson told Metro Sport. If Liverpool win at Everton, that'll be 9 points clear with 15 odd games left. They'd have to lose 4 of them, which I think would be impossible. To me, it comes down to Wednesday. While Liverpool prepare for their derby, Arsenal are away in Dubai for a warm weather training camp. They don't return to action until Saturday, travelling to Leicester in the Premier League, but are close to welcoming back long-term absentee Ben White after the defender linked up with his teammates. Bukayo Saka is stepping up his rehab after hamstring surgery, but Gabriel Martinelli has joined the injury list. Brazilian forward Martinelli picked up a hamstring injury of his own against Newcastle in the Carabao Cup and is expected to miss several weeks. Dejan Lovren has taken a different stance to 2 of his old Liverpool colleagues when it comes to the future of Mohamed Salah. Salah, 33, is set to see his Anfield contract expire this summer, with no sign of an extension in sight for the club icon. That's despite the fact Arneslot is on course to lift the Premier League title in his first season at the club and could still haul in a treble of trophies this term. Many fans are up in arms that the Merseysiders don't appear to be moving quickly enough to tie their talisman down on fresh terms. But Lovren, who won a league title and the Champions League alongside Salah, has accused the club of not showing respect and suggested the £350,000 a week asset could be on his way out. "I have to be careful what I say now, because I know a lot of things," Lovren told Win-Win. "Honestly, I don't know the exact numbers, but whatever he's asking for, I think he deserves it. It's simple, this guy is doing his job on the pitch. Don't look at his age, some will say he'll be 33. But look at Ronaldo, he's 40 and still playing. Mohamed Salah is still scoring goals, he's in great physical and mental shape. He's still playing for the national team, so what's the problem? He's 7 or 8 years younger than Ronaldo. So what's the problem with Salah? Nobody can find an answer. That's why I find it difficult. I can talk in more detail. Salah believes that there are things missing from the club side, and I hope they'll be resolved soon. But the current reality is that he's closer to leaving than staying." He added, "In the end, I came to the conclusion that the club doesn't respect him enough, or at least not as much as they think they deserve. But that's another side of the story. It's all about what goes on behind the scenes." The Croat, who is currently playing for PAOK in the Greek Super League, gave a more emotional response than either Fabinho or Adrian, who can't see him leaving and believed the club would do everything they could to tie the star forward down. Fabinho even insisted that Liverpool were desperate to get Salah to agree to a new deal. I haven't talked to them lately, and to be honest, I didn't see any news about them coming to the Saudi League or leaving Liverpool, the Brazilian told 442 in October 2024. I know that some players like Mo, Virgil, Van Dijk and Trent Alexander-Arnold are at the end of their contract, and I think Liverpool are desperate to get them a new contract, but it's not my problem anymore. Former Reds goalkeeper Adrian was slightly firmer in his stance and said he cannot see Mohamed Salah playing for another team in the Premier League. Moreover, the Spaniard said he felt it was the best option for all concerned for Salah to renew his deal and remain at Anfield if he has the opportunity. I know the players there love him, the fans love him, he loves the team and the city, and the experience he has had at Liverpool is huge, he told Win-Win. I don't know if they have already started talking to him about renewing the contract or opening the door for him to leave the club, but I can't see Mohamed Salah currently outside Liverpool. However, despite two of his former teammates believing he would stay, Lovren, who may well be closer to the situation than Fabinho and Adrian, believes he is much closer to leaving than staying. The Reds winger, who currently leads the Premier League Golden Boot hunt with 21 goals this season, confirmed as much in January. When asked if this was his last season for Liverpool, he replied, "So far, yes. Into the last 6 months, there is no progress there. We're far away from any progress, so we just need to wait and see." Arneslot confirmed that Trent Alexander-Arnold was back in training, but refused to confirm if the right-back would return for Liverpool on Wednesday. The Reds make the short trip to take on Everton in the Merseyside derby and hope to have their local lad available after a short stint out injured. Alexander-Arnold is edging towards full fitness, but couldn't feature at the weekend. Slot and the Liverpool medical staff appear to be waiting until the last minute before deciding whether or not to include Alexander-Arnold. Joe Gomez is another injury concern for the Reds after he hobbled off during Sunday's FA Cup defeat at Plymouth Argyle. The versatile defender only lasted 10 minutes at home park, with the club still determining the extent of the injury, with Gomez suffering an issue on the same leg that has previously seen him sidelined. He said, "Trent has done parts of training sessions with us yesterday. Let's see how he is today. Joe, it's the same leg he had the injury last time. We are still assessing that." Liverpool had been scheduled to play Everton back in December, but Storm intervened to force a postponement. Wednesday's game will be the final derby played at Goodison Park as the Toffees prepared to move into their new state-of-the-art venue. Despite Everton's struggles in recent years, the Reds do not have a good record at the home of their neighbours. They lost this fixture 2-0 last term and have only enjoyed one win in their last 7 visits. Liverpool have also failed to score in 5 of their last 7 games at Goodison Park. Slot will also be seeking a response following Sunday's shock loss at the Championship strugglers. It ends Liverpool's quadruple hopes, and whilst that eases their fixture load, their manager insists he'd rather be playing regularly if it meant they were still in the hunt. He said, "A wise man once said to me, nothing good comes from losing a game. We would definitely prefer to have played more. Now, after losing this game, there is a moment where we have a normal week. But that is not what we wanted when we went to Plymouth. The plan was to play with Joe for 60 minutes. The plan was to start Curtis, but he didn't feel well enough to play. Darwin became a dad 1 or 2 days before the game. That happened in Spain, and he came in 1 or 2 days earlier. We wanted to play with a stronger team. The fact we didn't win shows these players need these games. It makes it disappointing we don't have these extra games for them." Arneslot admits Joe Gomez's injury didn't feel good for him after the Liverpool defender was forced off after just 10 minutes on Sunday. The 27-year-old was among the most experienced players on the pitch as Slot shuffled his pack for the FA Cup trip to Plymouth, a decision that ultimately backfired as they suffered a shock defeat. Gomez didn't last long before he had to come off with a debutant in Isaac Mabaya going on as his replacement. The Reds boss confessed he didn't yet have a full diagnosis on the injury, but it was quickly apparent that Gomez wasn't going to be able to continue and he was going to be forced into a reshuffle. Slot's issues began early on Sunday when Curtis Jones, who is coming back from an injury absence, admitted to his manager that he wasn't yet 100%. That meant the midfielder remained on the bench throughout despite Liverpool lacking experience and also chasing the game at home park. The Reds boss said on Gomez's injury, "I am not too sure. I am not too sure if it was the same leg, but I haven't had time to ask him." It was clear. I think we all know which moment he felt a bit insecure about it because he didn't sprint back fully. Then he said, "I am not 100% sure, and I am afraid if I make one extra sprint things will go wrong. It's not torn, I assume, but it didn't feel good for him." That was a bit of a blow because Curtis Jones was on the bench, but he came to me this morning and said, "I don't think I am fully recovered yet," as well after the training session of yesterday. That all of a sudden led to the fact we were with a few more youngsters on the pitch than was the idea before the game, but still there was enough quality on the pitch to get a better result than this. Liverpool were not without quality on Sunday as Diogo Jota and Luis Diaz started in their front line. Darwin Núñez joined them off the bench, but they couldn't find the goal that would have forced extra time. Plymouth scored the decisive goal in the second half as Ryan Hardy converted from the spot. The Reds' hopes of landing the quadruple are not over, with their manager adding, "The result is obvious, it's a big disappointment, and the way we played there wasn't a lot to be happy about as well. The only thing I was happy about is that the boys kept on fighting for 100 minutes.